بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا وحبيبنا ونبينا وشفيعنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه الطيبين الطاهرين يا أرحم الراحمين يا رب العالمين. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept these prayers. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep nourishing the soul of our beloved and our guide, his messenger Muhammad, and keep nourishing his and keep empowering his legacy and his inheritance and his light, and keep empowering our connection to this light and to that legacy. Ameen ya arhamar rahimin ya rabbil alameen. Ameen ya arhamar rahimin ya rabbil alameen. May in this day of Friday, the last Friday in the month of Ramadan, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us all the tawfiq to connect better to that noble dimension of existence, the prophetic existence, the Muhammadi existence, the one who, even though he got a second life like all of us, even though he was born in this world like us, alayhi salatu wassalam, even though he was born like a human being and he died as a human being would die, during his second life he kept connected to the souvenir and to the memory, vivid memory of the first life, as if he had never left it, as if the second life was just a continuity of that first life, the life of Shahada, the life of Shahada. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the first life we were in the alam Shahada, and now we are in alam al-ghayb, alam al-hijab, and then we'll go back to alam al-Shahada again. Some people, they say the opposite, but ala kulli hal, what is ghayb and what is shahada? The first life we're witnessing, and that's why it's alam shahada. And we were saying, indeed, ashhadu la ilaha illallah. It was the word during the first life. We said bala, shahidna. So it is the alam shahada from the Quranic perspective. We said bala shahidna. That was the word of shahada. Now yu'minuna bil ghayb. This is alam al ghayb. The world, this second life that we are living in, is the life that should be called alam al ghayb, because our interaction with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala during this life is based on ghayb. ألف لام ميم ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين الذين واش يشهدون لا الذين يؤمنون بالغيب. أيوة. ولكن ذاك كان عالم الشهادة. The first life was the عالم الشهادة from the Quran. بلى شهدنا. So we were in عالم الشهادة, now we are in عالم الغيب, and we'll go back to عالم الشهادة again. Those who deserve to go back to عالم الشهادة, not everyone will go back to عالم الشهادة. There will be two kinds of shahada. After the second life, we'll see some people will shahidu anna Allah haqq. Some people will be only shahidu ala anfusihim. Some people will witness the beauty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they'll be witnessing and these are the people of heaven. These are the people who actually connected to their first life and sought to connect to their first life and sought to stir that memory within them, the memory of the first life during this second life, they will continue and they will witness the beauty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَيَكْشِفُ لَهُمْ عَنْ حُجُبِ عَنَ الْحُجُبِ subhanahu wa ta'ala, and He will uplift the veils, and then they will witness His beauty subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they will see His face without a how or when or where. So they will go back to Alam Shahada, and it will be an even sweeter Shahada than the first life Shahada. الشهداء عند ربهم. And the other people, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from their destiny, they will witness some truth about themselves. They will witness that they were wrong, and they will stop there. They wouldn't be able to witness the beauty of God subhanahu wa ta'ala. They won't see. They will continue in the veils, and that's the hell. That's the hell, is to continue in that ignorance of who God is, truly. Don't you see, for example, we read in the Quran, none of them will dare to ask God, please forgive me. You are the forgiving God. Yes, we have done all of these wrong things. Just forgive us. Had they said it? Would anyone say it, even if he was in the hell? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put him in the Jannah, in the paradise, immediately. Because just what makes the hell paradise is that wahi, is that discovery, is that ilm, is that knowledge that you get within you, that God is forgiving. And khalas, it's done. You read in the Quran, the people of the hell will ask God for many things. They will ask Him, bring us back to the... You can bring that other couch to my grandfather and put it here. Or a chair from inside. Alhamdulillah. Bismillah. Tafadhal. You can tell... They will ask God, أرجعنا نعمل غير الذي كنا نعمل. Take us back to the dunya, so we'll act differently, and we'll prove that we are good people. Okay? They will ask, many things. They will ask the people of the heaven, give us some water. They will ask, but none of them will actually go. They will say, God, yeah, shahidna ala anfusina, we were ظالمين. We were actually wrong. We were actually misled. We were actually mistaken. Khalas, keep it to Sister Khadija then if he doesn't want. So we were actually misled. We were actually misguided. But they will never go to the next step, which is, so please forgive us, since you are the forgiving one. Because they did not have access to that knowledge. And they did not cultivate that trust in God. They did not cultivate that kind of perspective of God in them, within themselves. They have no idea of what it means for God to be forgiving. They were oblivious to His existence all their lives. And when they died, they got shocked with that supremacy and with that kingship and with that majesty, and then they got blocked there. It's too late for them to cultivate that there may be forgiveness behind this majesty, because they were ignoring Him totally. He was not there in their life. They don't have any memory, just, oh, subhanallah. So when the glaive, when the
guillotine?
No, when the justice faces them, أبلس يومئذ المجرمون والعياذ بالله. They will lose hope immediately. Because they won't have the power of hope. They won't have the power of hope. Because hoping in God is a power. And don't think it is the hope that we talk, that people call hope today, tul amal. No, it's a true hope. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us hope in Him. Ameen ya arhamar rahimin. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase our trust in Him. Ameen ya arhamar rahimin ya rabbil alameen. And all these acts of worship, fasting, Ramadan, rahmakumullah, salat, coming together, experiencing salat, experiencing Ramadan, experiencing Hajj, giving charity, all these acts of worship are only there to help us cultivate faith. They are called Iman. The fruit of these acts of worship is ziyadat Iman. We pray to cultivate more trust in God. The more you prostrate, the more you cultivate trust in God. The more and the best thing that the human being does to cultivate trust in God is actually to pray, is actually to supplicate God, to ask God for things. And the more you make dua, the more you cultivate trust in God. And then when you die, you will die as a praying one. And when you get resurrected, you will get that power of prayer. And then you will be able to tell Him, God forgive me, and God pardon me, etc. Alhamdulillah. Imam al-Haddad is teaching us about youth and how important is not age. And that's why he says, hence, young people should be very careful to protect themselves against being dragged into God's wrath and painful chastisement simply by their youthfulness. They have to be careful. Youthfulness is that boost of energy that comes. Be careful of allowing that energy to consume you instead of mastering it and using it. There is nothing wrong in having extra energy. But if you are not able to master that energy will destroy you. Drugs give energy. Alcohol gives energy. Has it been only for the energy? فيهما منافع. There are منافع للناس. They give you positive energy. They give you courage. They give you many good feelings. Though you get overwhelmed with that kind of energy and you are unable to master it, so you end up a victim of that very energy. So that's why they compare youth to sakra. They call it sakrat al-shabab. Kuntu fi sakrat al-shababi. Drunkenness. Intoxication. They compare young people to intoxicated people and drunk people. Indeed, there is a sakra in the shabab. There is a hal of sukur. There is a state of overwhelming energy that, subhanallah, could actually consume you and overwhelm you. Because you are not prepared for it, and you do not have enough wisdom and enough knowledge and enough direction and enough help to master it. So there is that risk. You have to be careful. Let them instead make it, that youthfulness or that boost of energy, into a means and ladder leading up to the good pleasure of God and His tremendous reward. There are some places in the Jannah and there are some stations of sainthood and wilayah that could only be accessed and that are only accessible to those who seek them while they are youth, while they are young. There are some stations of sainthood, of wilayah, of closeness to God, of bliss, of ma'rifah, of knowledge of God, of Jannah, of paradise, which is all of this materialized or manifested, that are only accessible for those who seek them while they were still young, the age of 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. After 18 you are not young anymore. Subhanallah. That's why Al-Hasan al-Hussein Sayyida Shababi Ahl al-Jannah. Hassan and Hussein are the masters of the youth of Jannah, because they sought these high stations while they were young. No. Yes, you can make tawbah after that and reach even the highest levels of sainthood. But some corners, some places, some high stations will be reserved for those who actually seek God while they were young, still young. So there is a big virtue and tremendous virtue in that. Let us not take tawbah for granted. Let us not take that potential of changing for granted with our kids. Oh, I was worse than him when I was a young man, and then I changed it. Subhanallah. Is all of that hope in God and trust in God, or obliviousness to the danger? First of all, who is telling you that he will live as long as you have lived? Or she will live as long as you have lived? Number two, why do you want her or him to go through that pain? Number three, do you know what have you lost? It's not because today you are, mashallah, you made tawbah and you went to Hajj and you went to Umrah and you started even seeing the Prophet ﷺ in your dreams, and you found the Shaykh and you found the teacher, and you started exchanged that alcohol that you were drinking with Salat ala Nabi ﷺ, which is more intoxicating indeed, and you exchanged that drug with alhamdulillah, good for you, we're happy for you. But it doesn't mean because you reached that level that you did not lose anything. Does not mean that you did not lose anything. There are, even technically speaking, there are things, if you do not do them when you are young, after that, when you are young enough, after that they become more difficult. Subhanallah. We see the barakah of istiqamah. We see the blessings and the beauty and the light of istiqamah, of the persons who have not sinned or have not committed major sins, and they have been brought up in a clean life since a young age. The journey will be made easier for them, and they will have access to things, to some virtues, to some aspects that other people wouldn't and won't have access to, or wouldn't have access to that easily. So let us not belittle sinful life, and let us not belittle youth delinquency, and let us care more about our young people and our youth, and not take for granted that there will come a day they will change for sure. Doesn't mean because you have got that chance that they will get that chance. And anyways, that's not your business. That's God's business. Changing lives, giving tawbah. The result is not your business. Your business is the journey, the quality of the journey. The destination is not your business. One of my friends took me on the side one day and he told me, what is more important, the journey or the destination? Do we just want to get the result, and when we get it anyways, we get it and alhamdulillah, by any means, and then everything is okay? What ends, in his words he said, to get a result, and what ends well is good, what ends good, or what ends well is good, or we want to have a beautiful journey. And then I told him, we want to have a beautiful journey. The journey in anything in the reality. For example, now in this service that we are pretending doing, though we are just hovering around and wasting our time and the time of others, and just sitting there and leaving our shoes everywhere and pretending that we are volunteering in the Lotus. Well, the people who do the right work, they're yathru. They're tripping in your shoes because you are not meant to leave your shoes there. That's not the entrance of the masjid. You come to the masjid, come from the door of the masjid. And then just spending the night socializing and count the verses that we have read, count the rak'ahs that we have prayed, count the useful things that you have done. Subhanallah. And then we are here the whole day, the whole night. So like some of us, we are in i'tikaf in the masjid, 24 hours in the masjid. And how many verses of Quran have you read? People in i'tikaf, they make khitmah of the Quran in 3 days. That's what to make i'tikaf. How many thousand salat ala nabi? How many thousand la ilaha illallah? Is i'tikaf is by sleeping in the masjid and polluting it with your snoring and is that what makes i'tikaf to come to the masjid first, and enjoy free food and waste water, and then the bill of water will come every year, the month of Ramadan, because people are showering here, and so that's i'tikaf. No. It would be better to stay in your house and then keep honoring the masjid. Whenever you see the door of the masjid and see the green curtain, it reminds you of something, and say, Subhanallah, Allah miftah li ababa rahmatik, and you come and pray for a few hours and you leave. Alhamdulillah, in the end we'll all have Eid and Salat Eid, and the end will be good. And inshallah also that day the end will be good for everyone. But what is more important? The journey. My first teacher told me something. He told me, by Allah, if I die the way I am now, even if God takes me to the highest degree of Jannah, I won't be happy. Because I know I did not give to God what He asked from me. I know that I did not give it all to God. Subhanallah. So He woke us up to another reality. The quality of your life with God is very, very, very important. The quality of the journey is very, very, very important. Like someone who is married to a very forbearing and tolerant and wife, or someone who is marrying to a very forbearant and tolerant husband, they will misbehave with them day and night, but if there is no risk. I can yell at her, I can disrespect her, but after that I'm sure she will forgive me. Or I can humiliate him in public, I can do this, I can do that, but he will forgive me. I'm sure that will never, this marriage is forever, okay? Good. What ends well is well. How about the journey? How about these many hours that you could have spent in bliss and in much better quality? These moments of fights that you have weared yourself, worn yourself with. Or you got yourself worn out with. You got yourself tired with. You wasted lots of potential, lots of energy, just argumentation. Playing basketball would have been much better, more useful. Just give the ball, or what is the other one? Tennis or volleyball. Or it would be better than just this argumentation, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I say, she replies, she says, I reply. After that you are tired. Okay. Oh, I know my friend. Everything will be good by the end of the day. So, we are like family, you know. So, no, I don't want that kind of family. Every time I say like family, we fight like the intestines, and after that we are friends. But should we really spend our life? Is it worthy really to spend our lives like that? That kind of tak. We could have used that time doing something much better, something more useful. That time is not ours. And first of all, and after all, the result is not our business. It's God's business. Your business is the quality of the journey. After that, Allah qasdu sabil. The quality of the journey, the intention and the attention is your business. The intention you invest at the beginning of the journey, and the attention you invest and you give to the journey is your business. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala won't ask us for the result. For example, you do everything you can do with this organization. You invest yourselves with ihsan. For example, the garden. In the front, you really calculate it well and plan it well and see and go and communicate with that flower you buy and with the text that was written there, and just see, okay, this has to be placed in the shade. This one has to be placed in the sun. This one has to go deep like this. This plant needs some space like this, like that. This plant needs to be watered every day or every other day or every week, etc. And you really observe all these things carefully. And after you did all what you could do, the bus driver decides to run over your garden. It happens all the time in Tunisia. They even run over, wallahi. Especially now with cell phones, it's ajib. Or curiosity, because if you are driving and you don't look at your aim and understand the meaning, and you keep looking at what's that there? You will end up going there. You will end up going there. You are driving in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Assalamu alaikum. Instead of focusing on the goal and having your eyes on the goal, you start criticizing people around you. You will end up doing their mistake. You will end up joining their mess and hitting them and hitting yourself. Subhanallah. So if that bus driver or whatever, or tractor or the municipality, they come to you, they told you that's not your property, you are not allowed to do anything there. Here, we'll make it more beautiful. They will just put mulch on top of it all. That's it. Or they will put some asphalt. It's their property, right? It's not yours. They are free. You should be satisfied. And you should be pleased. Because you have done all what you could, and actually will feel good. But if you get a result that you did not really strive for, as one of the sisters came and she told me, Wallahi, I won't be happy. I won't be happy if someone shows up and says, here are the 250,000. Here. I won't be happy. Because we are not looking for that result. We are not using people to build buildings. We are using this building to build people. This is why this building is there. Stones will perish one day, any stones, let alone Gibraltar. The Temple of David. The Temple of David, what is left of it? It was built by a prophet. And his son continued the hard work after him. Who could match the intentions of David? And while he was building it, he was singing the praises of God. Every stone has a memory of these praises of God. And his son, after that, made sure to not miss a single تفضلوا. Pay attention to the uncle is there. Bring a chair for him. He will bring a chair for you. See, just 1 second. Okay, Bismillah. You can, yes. خلاص خلاص. بسم الله. ما شاء الله. وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. مرحبا. And after that his son Sulaiman, to continue the work, he made an oath that not a single brick would be put without him making prayer for it and gazing upon it. على عيني. So he asked God to take away from him tiredness and sleepiness. So I'm asking for your ayn as well. I don't want people to be playing with their phones during this rawha. Otherwise, you can go to the garden or to the lotus. So it's very important to have the gaze. Sayyidina Sulaiman, because he was building that very noble project, he wanted it to be under his gaze. Now we say this project was built under the gaze, and actually it's all symbolic today. But subhanallah, Sayyidina Sulaiman, he asked God to give him that miracle to not sleep and not eat and not become tired. And he kept standing on his asa, on his staff. The first day, the second day, the third day, the fourth day, because the jinn were working day and night. And he wanted to teach them that they are not that important. They are not there because they are needed. It's a favor that he is giving them to expose them to such a blessing to work in this project of God. It's not because he needs their technology or their power or because they are very fast. Because jinn and majnoon people, they think, they have this tendency to think that they are indispensable, that they are essentials, that they are indispensable, that they are needed. I'm there because I'm needed. I have skills and have potential and they need me there. That's jinn. That's the satanic way of thinking and the majnoon way of thinking. If there is a mess of jinn that you want to heal yourself from, it would be that the priority would be that kind of mess of thinking that you are actually indispensable and that you are actually needed. So Sayyidina Sulaiman wanted to show them that you are not, and he would give them the place of every single stone. So he worked more than anyone. He wanted to teach them that. And it was all under his gaze. And they were working day and night. And the jinn were chit-chatting, they need us because, you know, the humans would work, they have more energy during the day, and the jinn have more energy during the night. And Sulaiman would supervise the humans building during the day, and would supervise the jinn working during the night. 24 hours he's standing on his staff. And he asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give him the miracle to never blink. And he never blinked. And he would attention focus, what we are talking about symbolically, he got it literally. Sulaiman gazing at the house of God being built in front of his eyes, stone after stone, brick after brick, without even blinking, without losing focus, and praying. Allahu Akbar. Who's praying? Sulaiman. Son of whom? Son of David, a prophet. Son of a prophet. All his ancestors, all the way to Ibrahim, were prophets or saints. Allahu Akbar. What kind of prayer? What kind of depth? How deep was that sincerity? And all of that happened. And finally, he died while he was in that meditation, while he was in that observation. And people, they got used to Sulaiman not sitting, not drinking, not sleeping, so they found it normal that he is actually standing, still standing. They did not find that weird. Few hours after, and then it took another year after he passed away for the ant or for the termite or whatever, al-arada, to actually eat through his staff, and his staff was made out of silver. He was the king. He was not like Musa. And why not? In the service of God. Al-minsa'ah, it is the staff made out of silver. Now, how many months, how much time is needed for insects to eat through silver? Allahu A'lam. In some narrations, he kept like that for a year, 2 years, 3 years. Once they finished the project, what happened? Allahu A'lam when he died. Because there is no sign. The bodies of prophets, they don't change. Because they gave it all to God. And anything you give it all to God will stay there for, will be everlasting, will be mukhallad, will be good forever. When the Prophet ﷺ asked his wife Aisha alayhi salam, and he told her, how much is left from the lamb? She told him, the quarter. He told her, actually, the quarter is gone and the 3 quarters are left, because the 3 quarters they were spent in the sake of God, and that's why they are preserved, because what is and the quarter is gone because you are going to just consume it and go. La ilaha illallah. The money that you keep with you is what going to actually finish and perish, and the money that you give for the sake of God is actually what you will give an everlasting duration and everlasting life. Same for your energy. The energy that you invest in, and the life and the time that you invest for the sake of God is وهكذا, is what you give it an everlasting life and everlasting power. So Sayyidina Sulaiman, he gave it all to God. Now, why am I saying this story? All this intention, all that deep attention, all those prayers. Where is the temple today? Where is it? A big fight, war, people killing each other. Where is the temple? Who's praying there? What are the eyes tearing for missing God and wanting? Where did that tradition that prophets after him started tying themselves to i'tikaf, tying themselves to the pillar of the temple? and fasting until someone would just come and bring food to their own mouth. Otherwise, they're happy making dhikr. All of that disappeared. No stones will last forever. Even the house of Abraham. Nothing. Nothing will stay forever. But what will stay forever? The light of Sulaiman will stay forever. The praises of Sulaiman are there forever. We read them in the Quran. The story of Sulaiman is there forever. We read it in the Quran. The honor of Sulaiman is there forever. The honor of the builder, the praises of the builder, and more and more and more and more and more. We do not build the projects to consume us. We do not consume the human being to build stones. The opposite is true, so focus. It's a journey, and the journey needs to be of a good quality. It's not the result. It's not the result. It's the journey, it's the way how to go about it. It's the way how to go about this. So talking about youth, let us not belittle the importance of the quality of a single hour in your life, of your life. Let us not belittle the importance of living every single hour of your life, of giving it to, it's shake the thought or shake what? What's written on your paper? Shake that thing? Okay, I'm shaking it. Here you are. Here you are. You know what is that thing that you need to shake? That's why the Shaykh is called Shaykh, right? Some people, they call Shaykh Hamdi. That's why I'm shaking. Shaking paradigms, shaking thoughts, shaking things. May Allah protect us, inshallah. So, it's very, very important, marhaba. Yes. It's very important to make sure that every single hour we spent in our life is spent in a good way. Let us at least strive for that. Let us not belittle that. Let us not be just looking for, okay, just live a miserable life, and okay, at some point will be good. At some point, somehow, we got used that it will be good at some. Let us really, God has given us and gave us and is giving us all the equipment, all what we need to live a good life. And the end is not our business, it's His business. The journey is our business. Let us not belittle the waste of time. And let us not belittle the waste of potential. Let us not belittle the waste of opportunities. And be careful, because if you work in a project that dépassé, that over, qui vous dépasse, that is beyond you, that's your understanding of dépassé. That is beyond you, that is bigger than who you are. If you are working in a project that is beyond you and that is not actually fueled by you, there are intentions of people of God maybe you have never met, and then they came by this place and they put a prayer there. It's going to happen with your help, without your help, with your energy, without your energy. And by God's will, By Allah, by Allah, by Allah, the photos of this masjid will be on the stamps of Canada in few years. And by God's will, not only the Pope Francis will come, not only many things will happen, and it will enter in the history of Canada, بإذن الله الواحد الأحد. And it's not because of me or because of you, but let us be part of that journey. So when it happens, you don't feel marginalized. I was at the margin. You connect to it, I remember. So you were synchronizing with that energy that is beyond you, with that divine energy, with that divine will, like the people of Badr. All what was asked from them is just to synchronize. It's happening. The Prophet ﷺ said, إِلَّا تَنْصُرُوا فَقَدْ نَصَرَهُ اللَّهُ. Listen, the victory was written. If you don't come, if you don't join, it's already there. Had Abu Bakr Siddiq not accepted Islam, had Umar ibn al-Khattab not accepted Islam, had Uthman not accepted Islam, had Sa'id not accepted Islam, Ya Sidi, had Ali not accepted Islam, you think that the story would be different? It wouldn't be different. The will of God will, you understand? Allah al-Ghani. Allah al-Ghani. But what would change? We wouldn't be saying Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, Umar radiallahu anhu, Uthman radiallahu anhu, Ali radiallahu anhu. That will be the only difference. You understand? We are not needed. All what we need to do is to honor ourselves by synchronizing, synchronizing
Becoming in sync.
and becoming in sync with the divine energy and with the divine will. That's all what we are asked to do. There is a beautiful energy there, just sink in, just synchronize with it, just tune in. Join. And then the honor will be yours. And we are not talking about the honor that people will be talking about. That's not honor. No, the honor, the day of honor. The honor in the day of honor. The honor, the day of honor. The day of haqq. So let us really give it all. Give it all to God. Give our emotions and give our thoughts, and really when we do something, let us give it all. Just the result is not yours. Let us not be these fools who do everything, every single thing wrong and neglect every single step, and after that people show up and something happened. Oh yeah, we did well. You did well. The English language is there to help you. You did well, or it did well? You did well. Let us be able, actually, let us do things so to say, Alhamdulillah, we were honored by doing well. We did well. We did well. After all, we did well. And then if victory comes, we did well. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decides that victory to not be manifested, to not be materialized, because victory will come anyway. We did well. Let us build the everlasting project. This heart, this a human being. And in order to build that heart, you have to give it all to God. Give it all. Don't leave a part for you. Don't be miser. Don't be shuh. Don't be whack. It's very, very important. Why am I talking about all of this? Because that's youth. That's youth. And in every journey, there is youth. There is childhood, and there is youth. The first year in the journey, you get some energy that you won't get at the second year. And it won't be the same in the third. And it won't be the same in the fourth. So that sweetness that you are getting now, and that energy, and that boost, and that sugar, and that spark, invest it, not waste it in just frivolities and empty discussions. One of the teachers who has a great school in Yemen, he, around 3 a.m., he was walking in the street going to the school, going to pray tahajjud, and he heard his students fighting over problem of aqidah, and problem of creed, a way of concepting God, fighting over how to conceive God, and talking about this, and about misled groups and this and that. When he was leaving the school, going to his house, he heard them starting the discussion and discussing, and then for 3 hours they would. And then the next day when he met them, he told them, that's not why we gave you life. That's not why we gave you life. Don't waste your life. Don't waste this energy that we have given you. When he says we, because he was a means to give that energy. The people of God are there to help that energy spark in you and help. It's not to just waste it on empty discussions. No, use it. And we said that youth is the age when you get this boost of what? The two powers. What are the name of the two powers? Anger and desire. Actually, it's not anger, it's resistance. We translate it as resistance because that's ghadab. Ghadab is resistance. Determination. It could become determination, but it is a resistance. Determination is a kind of positive resistance. Now, entêtement, stubbornness. Stubbornness is a kind of negative resistance. But le brut, le brut. When I'm tired, I lose my English, and then I start losing my French, and then I start losing my Arabic. Alhamdulillah. So it's very hard for me to lose my words. So Allah, had I had one single language, alhamdulillah, I would be silent now, Ya Rab. Alhamdulillah. So, but it goes like that. So, seriously, yes. So now yes, I'm more French than English. It is true. It's a reality. So,
raw material.
The raw material is the same. It's called resistance. Resistance. If you invest it, it becomes determination. And that's youth. And if you let it overwhelm you and consume you, it becomes stubbornness. The raw material is wanting, desiring. It's the same. Passion. It's the same. If you direct it to God, it takes you high. If directed to good things, helping people, etc. Youth. Who started these beautiful organizations like Doctors without boundaries. Huh?
Borders.
Without borders. And boundaries. That could heal everything. Youth. But if you direct it towards low things, it becomes negative. So the two powers that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given this human soul, الشهوة والغضب, they are called resistance and desire. الفجور والتقوى. The resistance, fujur, to say no. Taqwa is to desire, to want, to love. According to a literal definition. The power of saying yes, I want, and the power of saying no, I don't. In the nature of the human being, these are the two elements that will make the human being, and these are the two elements that you will make a choice with. Because do we create our actions? We don't. The ideas, they come in front of us, they get broadcasted. The shape of the action, the idea comes. Okay. How about the drinking now? How about pretending something you are not now? How about lying now to make the story even more appealing and more juicy? Why not bringing some beautiful story to my friends? They don't seem like to know their religion very well. They trust me, and you know what? And they think that I'm a learner. I'm learned enough. So let me make up some story from, and why not putting me somehow? I was with my Shaykh that day, and he told me, and I was with my Shaykh at 2 a.m. Oh. And then letting them, why not? To make the story juicy and beautiful and more appealing. And the idea comes, just, and all what I can, yes, I want. Good. Or, no, I don't. Go. لها ما كسبت وعليها ما اكتسبت. That's it. And that's all what we have with our actions in the reality. We do not create the idea of the action. The project is there, ready. With all its tools, it comes to you. The good one and the bad one. God sends them to you. All the possibilities, you have them. And they come. And then it's your choice to say, yes, I desire this, I want this. The beautiful idea and the bad idea. The beautiful idea of, let me honor this noble man, noble guest, and bring him a chair and etc., etc. And then I'm sitting there, the idea comes, and then subhanallah, because I'm demotivated, because I left myself become so overwhelmed, so consumed with my own discomfortable comfort zone, uncomfortable comfort zone. You understand? I'm very consumed with that selfish hell. I don't even notice, and he will bring it himself. No, someone else will do it. You missed an opportunity. You just missed an opportunity right there. You just let it evaporate on you right there. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. Why? Because the desire was not nourished, because you had lack of desire towards good things, or the desire was not nourished, or it was not directed to the good things. So these two powers, yes, you wanted to ask a question. Yes.
I just wanted to, if you could
Give him the mic.
just translate.
Yeah. And Terry, close the windows and put the AC on. Yes.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
If you could just translate what you said in Arabic earlier.
Like, ألهمها فجورها وتقواها. I have translated basically every single sentence, but sometimes it takes me some time to translate.
The recent sentence you said in Arabic, it ended with qadar, I think. Qadar. I'll ask another day, inshallah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it got translated. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it got, because I have Guardian there, unless my Guardian is not working, or. لها ما كسبت وعليها ما اكتسبت. Yes, yeah, it was translated. Barakallahu fikum. So for it will written for it in its favor, whatever it actually acquired, the good actions that it actually acquired, this nafs, this human, this nature, and it will written against it what she actually acquired in the wrong way. So all what we have is to acquire, accept that action and say, yes, I want to do this, let me do it, and that's it. And then we spoke about the 4 stages. I think in the first rawha of Ramadan, the 4 stages, going from the simple thought to the inclination, to the intention, to the action itself. We spoke about these 4 stages or the 5 stages before. There is a window in that door, right? It's closed, alhamdulillah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us this. This is what makes a human a human. Now for the youth, for the young man and for the young woman, he wakes up to these 2 powers. These are the things that will wake up in him. Every other aspect is secondary. Now people, they just, so and so reached puberty. How did you know? Oh, he has some mustache. He has some facial hair. She started having some forms in her body. He started having some. All of that are called secondary signs. But even what they have taught in biology, that is the main sign, is secondary. What makes puberty is this awakening of these 2 powers in you. 2 volcanoes will burst. Resistance, and you see it. It's ajib. If we do not direct it, if they are not prepared for it, if they do not receive the good education, and when I say good education, does not mean to send them to Islamic school or something like that. Education, not schooling. Education, not schooling. Doesn't, sometimes schooling contributes to lack of education, if anything. And they are not prepared for that. You will see them becoming victim of that. Why you are resisting everything? My God. Just to give them white plate, no, I want that plate. Oh my God, it's the same. But it's the same. You give them a glass of water, no, I want another glass of water. Ajib. Just wanting to be different at any
cost.
At any cost. Just being different for being different. Don't you see that? That's when we live this fire uncontrolled, and we do not teach our youth that, and that rite of passage, when that rite of passage is missed, and we do not teach the youth, now you have these 2 powers in you. You have to be careful. You have these 2 tools They are very dangerous. They are very powerful, but they are very dangerous. Don't let them consume you. But if you direct them, you can do much things with them. And what you can actually achieve now, you will never be able to achieve later, even if you change. The rite of passage, and we teach them and we tell them that, listen, you will feel this resistance within you. Don't declare a war against your father with it. Don't waste it. Your father is going to go, and you are going to live your life. Don't live half of your life defying your father, and the second life crying for your father after he dies. Don't spend the first half of your life defying your father, defying his authority, and the second half of your life crying.
Regretting.
Crying, defying, crying. Okay? After he leaves this world, why would you waste your resistance there? I mean, just live with it. Live with it. Live with it. You could do something with it. Let us not waste our resistance there. It's not a bad authority anyways. Why would I just keep challenging it and just... You want to escape the cage? Escape the cage. Escape the cage. Don't have every single action because my father wants me to go in this direction, I will make sure to go in the opposite direction. Why? It's such a beautiful thing, resistance. It's such a powerful thing, resistance. It's such an empowering thing, resistance. It's such an expensive gift, resistance. Don't waste it in the wrong battlefields. Go and invest it in the right battlefield. You want to resist? Resist to Satan. Resist to your ego. You want to resist? Resist to أكثر من في الأرض, the majority of the inhabitants of earth. Resist, the masses. Be different. Say no to styrofoam. Yes, why not? It's a noble cause. Say no to cell phones. Say no to cell phones. Could you resist that? And be different? A man of your own, a woman of her own. Say no to that. Yell. Let them laugh at you. Say no. You want to be a rebel? Yalla, wear a good scarf and good hijab, a good one, and then go. You will be a rebel. That's how my best friend did. She told me about her youth. She was a rebel. She decided to resist in that way. To put a scarf on her head and start dressing like monk or nuns. Against everyone, the father, the mother, the tribe, what are you doing? You want to resist? Resist in that way. But actually there is a better way to resist. Resist to the ego. Resist to all of that altogether. Resist to the lack of wisdom. Resist to this image, this cage, this shape, this marketing that people are trying to make you fit in. Oh, young man has to be crazy. Why? Why do you have to be crazy? Just to fit in the standards. Young man has to dress like this, and has to do like this, and has to behave like this. Why? Resist to that, if you want to resist. better than all of that, resist to Satan. Resist to distraction and resist to destruction. Resist to what takes you away and what destroys you. Same for desire. Desire, motivation is what we cry for today. Give me some of your desire, seriously. Desire is what we cry for today. I wish I could just get back some of the desire. Oh, you're still young. No. 40 is not 20. And 20 is not 15. We have to understand the value. There are things, if you do not realize at a certain age, they will evaporate on you. Yes, you might and you will be idhnillah samil alim. All and we will all inshallah have a good end. At some parts of the journey, you could have done them much better. You could have lived them much better. You could have taken advantage of this life in a much better way. You could have access to some dimension, sweetness, beauty of God, miracles of God through us. We could have witnessed miracles of God manifesting right there through us. That we wasted that opportunity. This is what we are talking about. Desire is such a great gift that God gives you. Passion. The whole La ilaha illallah is about passion. La ilaha illallah literally means there is no passion but God. I will only direct my passion towards God. Only God deserves my passion. Only God deserves my full heart. Passion is such a great gift. Such a great gift. Why would you just go and waste it here and there? Nonsense. Put it where it should be put and you will see wonders. You will see wonders. You will see al-ajab al-ujab. So these two volcanoes or these two springs are bursting in the heart of the young man now. That's why they should be careful to protect themselves against being dragged into God's wrath and painful chastisement simply by their youthfulness. Simply by these two gifts that God has given them. Turning them into weapons to kill themselves and destroy them and hurt themselves with. Let them instead make it into a means. This desire, this passion, this resistance. Let them make it into a means and ladder leading up to the good pleasure of God and His tremendous reward. Let them remember the advice of God's messenger, upon whom be blessings and peace, for he has more compassion and solicitude for us than ourselves, our fathers and our mothers altogether. He said, seize the opportunity to make use of 5 things before you grow old. Of 5 things. Before 5 other things catch up with you. Subhanallah. This is a good translation. It's good, right? You don't have the copy of the book? Can someone pass a copy to Aissa, to Ustad? Alhamdulillah. Seize the opportunity to make use of 5 things before 5 things catch up with you. اغتنم 5 قبل 5. Your youth before you grow old. He knows the value of youth, alayhi salatu wassalam. Your health before you fall sick. Your leisure before you are occupied. your wealth before you grow poor, and your life before you grow dead, before you die, because death is it's a journey. It doesn't. I love grow poor, grow old. I can say grow dead. Yeah. Death is just growing in us until it will be everything. That's it. And your life before you die. And he said, alayhi salatu wasalam, upon him be blessings and peace, and may God keep nourishing his soul, his being, his light, his legacy, empowering his legacy and his inheritance and our connection to them. The feet of a servant will not move away. That means the servant, the human being, won't be able to make one to move forward. The human being won't be able to move forward on the sirat, on the path leading to the paradise, the day of judgment, before he gets questioned and before he answers 3 questions. Before he gets to answer 3 questions, he won't be able to move forward. Before he gets to before answering 3 questions. What are the 3 questions? Oh, 5 things, I'm sorry, 5 things. His life and how he expended it. His youth and in what he exhausted it. His wealth and where he obtained it and what he spent and on what he spent it. So you won't be able, this is how we should translate it, of a abd, of slave. In English you say we can use you by default. You won't be able to move forward towards the paradise, the day of rising, until you will be asked about 5 things: your life and how you expended it, your youth and in what you exhausted it. Subhanallah, exhaustion. And in what you invested it, I would say. And in what you exhausted it, depending. Your wealth and where you obtained it and on what you spent it. Youth is the time when acquiring merit, knowledge, and attaining to positions of religious leadership and eminence are possible. If you want some desire, it's good. At a young age, ma'alish. You want to compete for superior positions? Bismillah. Actually, the majority of the verses of the Quran were addressed to youth. That's why it's talking about competing and competition and looking for superiority in the akhirah.
So what's the age of youth in Islamic terms?
Because you missed the young age of the halaqah, you missed the answer. So you reach the halaqah where the halaqah now is at her maybe 90s. It's about to khalas. No. Youth is between the puberty, let us say 13, 14, 15 or 16 for some people, and 20s. 20. Maybe today can say 23. Not really. Not really. Honestly, not really. If not really. Not all youth will disappear. No, that youth will keep it. He will keep it, my sister, my brother, inshallah, he will still be young, inshallah. No, we're talking about that boost of energy, that vigor. There is some vigor. You start losing vigor at the age of 20. You start losing vigor at the age of 20. And you start losing vigor, and the vigor will totally, basically disappear at the age of 33. No, seriously. Unless you invested it, unless now you are taking it by default. By default, people they don't have that same vigor. Unless you are already invested in the path of God or something like that, and then you will keep adolescent all your life, in a good way. In a good way. If a youth has nothing to boast of when he reaches 20 years, he'll never have anything to boast of. Allahu Akbar. Khalid bin Walid. Why are we starting with him? Radiallahu anhu. Ali ibn Abi Talib, alayhi salam. Hassan, Hussein, alayhi salam. Khalid bin Walid, radiallahu anhu. Zubayr, Usama bin Zayd, radiallahu anhu. Zayd himself, radiallahu anhu. Sa'ad bin Mu'adh, radiallahu anhu. All that thing, the day of Badr, that speech. He had 23. He was 23-year-old when he gave that speech. Mus'ab bin Umayr, radiallahu anhu, the ambassador of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, 17-year-old. He goes to Medina at the age of 17. And then the whole Medina enters into Islam. It's not any city, it's the Medina, the city that will end up the capital of the religion after that. It's Allahu Akbar. And that potential is there within the young man. If he keeps it, if we help him to keep that potential, and really, the problem that we keep looking at, we keep belittling that potential, and we keep looking at young men. Oh, he's still young, he's still young, he's still young, he's still young, he's still young. So let him be a clown. Let him clown around. Let him foam around.
Even the whole idea of adolescence.
Yeah.
It's like this crazy period that's
Yeah.
nobody wants to deal with.
They build an image and you have to fit in that image. Like in the modern family today, they built an image for the father. What is the image of the father in the modern family today? The dummy, useless, right? On the couch, watching football. And then you watch cartoons, that's how they give you, that's the father. And then you will expect your father to fit in that category. And there is an image for the mother. And there is an image for the brother. So we are, subhanallah, built, or we are trained to have the worst expectations of each other. Continuing the Hobbes philosophy. The human is a wolf to his brother. Rather than really being taught what it means to be a girl, the power of being a woman, the treasure of femininity. Femininity. The treasure of masculinity as well. The treasure of being a man. The treasure of being a girl. All of that. Subhanallah, in order for us to help the brother and the sister work and reach their potential. Their full potential. Another declared, if you do not prevail in the nights of youth, then you shall never prevail, though you live long. Is most of your life other than youth? What is most of your life other than youth? Take what you can from it and neglect it not. Live your youth to the fullest. Live your youth to the fullest. Live your youth to the fullest. سمعت يا مجد؟ لازم نقرأه بالعربية هذا الكتاب. نعطيك مشروع. I give you a project. And by Allah, this is the second time I say it. If you do it, don't want people to start like, how they came, subhanallah, without me asking for them. I was going to tell you, bring me Syrian Arabophone youth, and I will teach them this halaqah in Arabic. How they came before I even spoke about them. So then by Allah 10 times or 3 times. If you do it, and you become a means to facilitate this. Syrian young men, to teach them the lives of man in Arabic. If you start a halaqah in Arabic, a weekly one, for Syrian youth in this masjid, I don't want to scare people, but I will guarantee for you, even though I don't guarantee it for myself, don't take it wrong, but I will guarantee it for you, a place next to Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib in the Jannah. Take it seriously. Bismillah. This is the book that should be taught. And they came. Before me telling you to invite them. This is a very, very, very important book that should be taught to you. Because how sad, subhanallah, what a waste, that beauty and that energy and that just goes like that. Well, subhanallah, go to this cluster, low school, and they get demoralized every time. I missed you for Jumu'ah today, sorry. I wanted to come, but ahla wa sahla, marhaba. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect you. And you missed the class, you should have come earlier. You are at school, you are at work. Alhamdulillah. It's so demoralizing to see young men and young women with all of that. They're rich. It's like a casino. Seriously, the feeling that I get when I go to high schools today or to universities today is the same feeling that I used to get when I entered to casinos. Not to play, because otherwise it would have been something else. It would be a good feeling. I used to enter to casinos for a certain reason I don't want to boast of today. But I get that feeling. It's so dark. It's so subhanAllah, these people are wasting their life, wasting their potential. Young men and women in the high school are just wasting their life and wasting their potential. Time is just flying. Time is just flying. Are they really learning? How? A teacher. Don't direct the camera to him, otherwise he will lose his job. Are they really learning anything? Seriously, you could learn the full curriculum in 2 months if you wish.
From grade 9 to 12.
From grade 9 to 12. Wallahi. Yani, it's all waste of time. All what you learn in these schools is the technique how to waste time. And bad manners from other kids. صناعة قتل الوقت. واختناق الأخلاق. سماها. صناعة قتل الوقت واختناق الأخلاق. The art or the craft, it's not an art, it's the craft of killing the time and suffocating the morals. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. Ameen ya arhamar rahimin rabbil alameen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us and you the tawfiq inshallah to answer the call of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Open the curtains for me if you can. Let us embrace the coming of our guest. The night doesn't fall, the night. Yeah. أيوة. معلش. Yeah. The file comes. Let us enjoy his coming. MashaAllah. Blessed night, another blessed night of Ramadan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make its coming a coming of barakah and khair. And alhamdulillah for this opportunity. Saying goodbye to the day while in dhikr, and saying welcome to the night while in dhikr. What a blessing. What a blessing. Alhamdulillah ala hadhi ni'mah. Alhamdulillah, we cannot thank God enough for these blessings. Cannot thank God enough for these blessings. May we get the chance to be attentive and awakened and focused in these moments all our lives. May we never neglect the time of sunset, and may we never neglect the time of sunrise. May we never neglect the beginning of the journey, and may we never neglect the end of it. May we never neglect these special and beautiful moments. May we keep our focus and our attention on God all these moments. Ameen ya arhamar rahimin. In all these moments. Ameen ya arhamar rahimin rabbil alameen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from those who are donating and bringing food and investing and giving their energy. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from all of you. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from all of you. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless this masjid. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless this opportunity. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us all. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless the water we are drinking. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless the days we are eating. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless the vegetables and the meat we are eating. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless the food we are eating. Ameen ya arhamar rahimin ya rabbil alameen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless our water, and bless our food, and bless our lives, and bless our youth, and bless our elders. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us all. Look at you, you're very beautiful. Subhanallah. MashaAllah. Bismillah. ربنا انفعنا.
ربنا انفعنا بما علمتنا، رب علمنا الذي ينفعنا، رب فقهنا وفقه أهلنا وقرابات لنا في ديننا مع أهل القتل أنثى وذكر، رب وفقنا ووفقهم لما ترتضي قولا وفعلا كرما، وارزق الكل حلالا دائما وأخلا أتقياء علما، نحظى بالخير ونكفى كل شر، ربنا وأصلح لنا
كل الشؤون وأقر بالرضا منك العيون. قبل يا عربي قبل أن تأتي
ربنا كل الديون قبل أن تأتينا رسل المنون،
واغفر استر
أنت أكرم من ستر،
وصلاة الله تغشى المصطفى
من إلى الحق دعانا والوفاء بكتاب فيه للناس شفاء،
وعلى الآل الكرام الشرفاء وعلى صحب المصابيح الغرار.
اللهم اهدنا بهداك واجعلنا ممن يسارع في رضاك، ولا تولنا وليا سواك،
ولا تجعلنا ممن خالف أمرك وعصاك.
وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم، والحمد لله رب العالمين في كل لحظة أبدا عدد خلقه وزنة عرشه ومداد كلماته.